Hello everyone, this is Akila from FREELEARN. In this video, let us discuss and get to know more about IELTS listening. What is IELTS listening? Listening module of IELTS is divided into four sections and it gets increasingly difficult. That is, the first audio will be more easier for which you can score high. The second one is not much difficult, but compared to the first, it will be increasing in the level of difficulty, for which also you can score high. And the third and fourth will be increasing the level of difficulty as per the order. So, listening module is divided into four sections and it increases its difficulty in each stage. The second one, the audio will be played only once. It is the most important factor. That is, the audio will not be repeated as per our wish. We have to listen very carefully to the question and also to the audio that we are listening simultaneously. We won't be given separate time to write the answers and to listen the audio in different times. So be careful with that. The audio will be played only once. The third point, total time allotted for this section is 40 minutes. So IELTS listening is compressed in 40 minutes. As we told, it is divided into four sections, and each section we had to answer the questions as we listen to the audio. So these four sections, for these four sections, 40 minutes will be allotted. Listening section includes 30 minutes and the remaining 10 minutes to transfer the answers to the answer sheet. So listening is divided into four sections, but it involves only 30 minutes. And the remaining 10 minutes will be allotted to write or transfer the answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. Okay, so it is better if you use pencil and eraser. That is the most suggested one so that you can erase it if it goes wrong. So here we have four sections, 30 minutes, and the last 10 minutes which is allotted to transfer your answers from question paper to answer sheet. Hope it's clear. And let us look into the test, how it works. Among the four sections, the first two are about social issues and the other two related to educational or training context. So I told you it's divided into four sections. The first two sections will be about some social issues or booking ticket or asking for a rental house or ordering something like that. It may be telephonic conversation or direct conversation. It depends. So it may be about social issues. And the other two sections will be related to educational or training contents, like such as discussion about project or upcoming seminar or about a place or explaining something about that and so on. So this is how the four sections work. Next, all the IELTS topics are of general interest, irrespective of what subjects you are planning to study or what work we intend to do. So this IELTS test won't be subject to what we are planning to study. It may not depend on the subject we are preferring to study abroad, but it is of general interest and the topic will be in general, and we don't have to bother about that. The third one, a range of English accents and dialects are used in the recordings, which reflects the international usage of IELTS. So, in each section of audio, you may have to listen to different accents, uh, get to understand them, get to know more about them, and the speed also will be increasing or decreasing depending on their accent and their fluency. So, we should get to know about their fluency accent and how it works only through practice. And let's see it in more detail. As I told, it is divided into four sections, and the first two sections are of social needs. Like you can see that conversation between two speakers, and it may be a speech by the second one may be a speech by one speaker. And the third one is literally about educational or training. It may be a conversation between four speakers at least. And the fourth one will be of academic subject, that is a speech by one speaker. So this is how listening works. So section 1. What is section 1? The first section consists of conversation between two speakers. Okay. So for example, a conversation about travel arrangements, booking accommodation, or decisions on a night out, something like that. So that is section 1. That is a social issue or social needs or whatever it may be. Then section 2. The section 2 is a monologue. Monologue means a speech by a single person. So it will be set in an everyday social context. Say, for example, a speech about student services on a university campus or arrangements for meals during a conference and so on. So it may move like that. That is how section 2 works. Then the third section 3 is a conversation between up to four people. So the conversation may lead up to four people. And for example, a conversation between a tutor and a student about an assignment, or between three students planning a research project. So basically, it will be about something academic context so that you can get to know how their studies work. Okay, so that is about section 3. And section 4, that is the final part, is another monologue. So it will be a speech by a single person, and it may be a lecture or talk of general academic interest, such as a university lecture. Okay, so these are the four sections included in IELTS listening. So let's see the types of questions they have asked. The first one, or the most, these are the most probable questions that they may ask. Okay, first type is multiple choice. They will give the questions, and along with that, they'll give you the options to select. So the first one is multiple choice. The second one is short answer, short answer questions. Okay, short answer questions in the sense they may instruct you in the beginning of the question itself, like you have to answer in one word, two word, one word, one word or and a number, two words and or a number, three words and or a number, or three words simply, like that. So you have to read the question, read the instructions before reading the question so that you can answer appropriately. So, for example, if you're writing a number instead of a word, then it will be wrong. Even if the answer is correct, it will be wrong because the computer may not recognize what you had written. So you should read carefully the instructions first before reading the question. Okay. So the third one, sentence completion. Sentence completion in the sense something like fill in the blanks. You have to listen carefully to the audio and write the accurate word appropriate to that following sentence. The first one is notes or summary or diagram or flowchart or table completion. Sometimes the conversation may be like explaining the directions of a path. So a map will be given and you have to analyze the map and listen keenly to the conversation or the monologue, and then you have to write the correct answer like A, B, C, D, or E. Whatever it is marked in the map, you have to answer it properly according to the questions asked. So this is an example. Okay. Then question number 5, labeling a diagram which has numbered parts. So as I told you, like say for example, map. Map is the best example that you can get to know and understand easier. So next one is classification and then matching. Matching means something like massive following and so on. So these are the question types, most probable question types that they may ask. And let's see the instructions. You will be provided with instructions on the test paper on how to answer the questions, and they are clear and easy to follow. So as I told you before reading the questions, you should be thorough about the instructions, what they have instructed, whether it is a one word question or one word and or a number question or one word or number question, two words, three words, and so on. So you have to listen carefully to the instructions. Sorry, you have to read carefully the instructions and then listen to the conversation or the audio clip as well as the questions. Okay. Only then more to answer the questions. Then you will be given examples of any unfamiliar question types. So if the question type is not familiar to you, then they may give you an example. They may cite an example how to write it. The third one, during the IELTS listening test, you are given time to read the questions and enter and then check your answers. So for IELTS listening test, you will be given 30 minutes to write the answers to into the question paper and then additional 10 minutes to copy your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. That is how IELTS listening works. Then you enter your answers on the question paper as you listen. And when the tape ends, 10 minutes are allowed for you to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Okay, that's already mentioned. Then 1 mark is awarded for each of the 40 items in the test. So remember that each question carries 1 mark. If your answer is wrong, say for example, you wrote a number instead of writing a word, then your answer is wrong. Then you will lose 1 mark there because each question carries 1 mark. And you know, as you all know that IELTS listening or reading or writing, nothing is marked as negative. So you don't have negative marking here. So it is easier for you to attend all the questions. You should attempt all the questions just through guess. Even if you don't know the answer, just attempt it through your guess. Okay. Then, no negative marking for wrong answers. Hence, try to answer all the questions. That is what I told just now. So now just look upon the strategies to improve your listening skills. How can we improve our listening skills? The first thing is focus on the audio. So the audio is the most important part of the test, as you know. Only when you listen carefully, you can answer the questions. So focus on the audio. Therefore, it is important to focus on the audio without getting distracted. So in between writing or answering the questions, you may be stuck with a question. Say, for example, you may be thinking about the first question. Meanwhile, you will lose the answer of second question because you are thinking over the first one. The audio will not pause or stop for you, as you know, and it will be played only once. So if you are focusing your attention on first question because you are getting confused, then you may lose the answer of the second question because the audio is still running. So you should be careful, keen, and should never get distracted in between because remember that the audio will be played only once. Second one, practice listening to different accents. IELTS audio is not just an accent of our concern or our imagination, as you know. It may play an audio of different countries' accents. You should get to know and familiarize yourself with the words and phrases and how the accent is all about. So you should get to practice more. IELTS audio may be recorded in different accents. So it is essential to be familiar with the accents. So listen to audio recordings in different accents. This can happen only when you go through intense practice. Practice is necessary. Okay, now the third one, learn to take notes. It is important to take notes while listening. Okay, so while you are listening, you can take some important notes if it is necessary. Just not in a sentence, but key points or key words that will help you later to guess it out, even if you don't know the answer, because you're writing the answers only in the question paper. And the last 10 minutes will be given for which you have to transfer all these answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. So you have time so that if you're confused about anything in particular, then you can just scribble out the key words or points in the question paper so that you can think about it later. So jotting down key points and ideas can make it easier to answer questions after the audio recording. Fourth one, improve vocabulary. IELTS listening involves a wide range of topics. So improving vocabulary can help understand and comprehend different words used in the audio. In order to get familiar with this IELTS listening skill, you should get to know more about the audio, right? Audio in the sense, you should get to know more about the words and phrases they are using because it may be a conversation which is involved of varied topics which we are not familiar with. So we should get to know more about the words and sentences and phrases. For that, we need more practice. Then take practice tests. Practice tests can help improve listening skills as it can stimulate the actual test environment. So we should take more practice tests whenever it is possible so that it will be easier for us to attend. Then the sixth one, listen to English media. Listening to English media such as podcasts, news, and TV shows can improve overall listening skills. In order to improve our listening skills, we can listen to news channels or podcasts or TV shows and something that can improve our level of knowing English better. Okay, so these are the strategies we can use to improve listening skills. So I hope it is a useful video, and let us discuss about the other skill in the upcoming videos. See you all. Bye.